We are Trufinco. I am Sarah Weldon, and this is my partner,
Rick Bass.
And
hello.
So we own Trufinco. It's a all-inclusive finance company. We offer all types of funding, and we just like to get on here and educate people on the alternative world of funding. So
The alternative world of funding, exactly right. Yeah, we're not a bank. We're not going to pretend to be a bank. We're nothing like a bank. Banks are nothing like us. So we do offer alternative funding for our clients of having a business to not having a business to wanting to create a company. So yeah, let's dive into it.
let's dive into it.
All right.
I think tonight we are going to talk about different types of business funding because sadly, most people are not aware of the different types of business funding out there. They just assume I got to go to the bank, and most people think I won't qualify, so they just end up funding everything with their personal credit, their personal money, which does not work.
And spending a lot of money that they don't need to spend.
Absolutely, because there's a lot of great options. So let's just briefly go through some of them. My favorite option.
Let's talk about the most popular one.
Yep, capital stacking.
Capital stacking.
Capital stacking. This is definitely what we do with a lot of clients because it fits so many needs, no industry restrictions. So capital stacking, in my opinion, is what every business owner needs. Reason being, this type of funding requires zero financials, so no tax returns, income verification, none of it.
We're not going to ask you for your father's hat size, nothing like that a bank will.
Nope. Application takes about 10 seconds. This type of funding, it's 0% interest, 0% interest for up to 2 years. Funding amounts up to $200,000. But what's really great about it is this type of funding comes as business credit. And business credit, every business owner's dream because it does not reflect on your personal credit report.
And you need it because you got to get that personal Social Security number as far away from your business as possible. You had to start thinking about that, you start working on your business credit, and you started opening up your company, and you said, well, you know what? I've got a 750. I can open up my company. I got good credit. If I need to borrow money, I'll need to borrow money. But that's only going to last you for so long because as you utilize your personal credit, your credit scores go down. And then that's when we have a different conversation.
A very different conversation.
Very different conversation, yeah.
But this type of funding, it's your way of becoming your own bank because you can do capital stacking with every single LLC. You can't do it all at once, but you can do it with every LLC. And we have some clients that, have started several years ago with us with $60,000 in funding, and now they're upwards of $600,000-$700,000 just on one LLC.
And their business credit is rising. So what that means, you guys, is business credit and personal credit are completely two different animals. Business credit works like this. The more you get, the more you use, the more you get the next time. Personal credit works like the more you get, the more you use, the lower your scores go, right? Business credit is the complete opposite. The more you get, the more you use, higher your scores go. So it's real important to start getting as much as possible.
I just love it. I talk about it all the time. But there's no industry restrictions with it, which is what's amazing. You own a trucking company, that's okay. All those high risk industries, business credit and capital stacking is the way to go.
Right.
Super easy to apply. It takes maybe 10 seconds. It's a soft pull. It's not a hard inquiry to find out what you qualify for. Funding amounts up to $200,000, and funding typically takes about 2 weeks.
Yep.
Main things, doesn't require financials, so instead...
No proof of income, no bank statements, no tax returns, no W-2s, no pay stubs. You prove nothing. Try walking into a bank and walking out with $150,000, $200,000 without proving any income.
It's not going to happen.
On a brand new business, it's not going to happen.
And main thing with this, it doesn't require financials, so instead it does look entirely at your personal credit score and profile. So you're looking for a 680 or higher with a strong profile, aged credit cards, higher limits. With that's how you do it. Now, you might be sitting there going, I don't even have that. Well, great thing about it, you can actually use a credit partner. So this can be anybody in your life that has stronger credit. We utilize their credit to get you the funding. So it comes in the name of your business, so it doesn't show up on their personal credit report.
Right.
Gets you the funding you need now, as well as giving you time to work on your own credit.
On your personal credit, correct. Get your business up and running. The beautiful thing about this is you can borrow a significant amount of money at a low monthly obligation. What I mean by that, let's say you got an $80,000 line of credit, business line of credit, right? Well, you only need to borrow a certain amount, right? So not a lot of our clients need that full 80 grand. They'll say, hey, Rick, I just need 30 grand. So if you borrow 30 grand because it's 0% interest, you're looking at a monthly payment of only $300 a month. So again, you can borrow a significant amount of money at a low monthly obligation, and it's great for startups. It's great for existing businesses, but most startups, they have no business revenue coming in, so they need something that they can buy, maybe buy some equipment, maybe buy, e-commerce or whatever. They can borrow that significant amount of money and not have that huge term loan payment, if you will.
No, It's a great program. And the thing of it is you can use it for anything. So we have a lot of real estate investors that take advantage of it.
Yep.
They use it for their down payment. As long as you're working with a private lender, they use it for their down payment. They use it for the rehab. We have a lot of people using it to buy businesses. We have a lot of people using it to expand businesses. I even have people that are finding like great real estate deals, a $70,000 home.
Right.
They're just purchasing it outright with capital stacking. So really you can use it for anything.
Especially if you're dealing with fix and flips,
Absolutely.
you get enough, you can go ahead and buy that property, have the capital to do the repairs on it as well. You don't have to worry about going to a bank and borrow money and spending more money, on fees and closing costs. Just pay cash for the house. There's still a lot of houses out there that are under $250,000. Not if so much if you're on the West Coast, but more like, Midwest.
Coming this way.
There's here in Florida.
Yeah. So that's capital stacking.
Capital stacking. No doc options.
I love that option. Other options we can kind of dive into a little bit, revenue-based funding. So if you have a business, no matter what your credit score is, revenue-based funding might be a great option. With this type of funding, you need at least $30,000 a month in gross revenue. We're looking at the last 6 months business bank statements as well as, very basic application.
Yeah.
But with that type of funding, you can get anywhere from about 1 to 1.5 times your monthly gross revenue. Yeah. And
doing 30,000,
Yeah.
you're probably going to get 30 to 60, maybe 50,000. Great rates, easy flexible payments. We're not talking about merchant cash advances here. No, we're talking about 30-day terms, 30-day payments.
Well, and the nice thing about those too, I love capital stacking, but for somebody that's in a hurry, that revenue-based funding can fund in just a matter of days.
Yes.
Right? And a business line of credit's great because you use it, pay it off, it's available to use again.
Got it there
So
again.
it is a great option. And we can do any credit score. So you did mention merchant cash advance. So obviously you have challenged credit, you're going to fall into that category. But, you've got a great way to pay it off. You've got great revenue. That's not necessarily a bad option.
Right.
So revenue-based funding is fantastic. I think, we do a lot of it with clients just because it's, so much easier than going into the bank and having to provide so much documentation. So that's a great option.
Personal loans?
Well, we're talking about business funding.
Business funding.
tonight.
Okay, we got business funding. Though.
So a couple of other options, SBA loans. I know
Yeah.
a lot of people like to groan with SBA, but there's some really great options. We work with a preferred lender. A couple of my favorites. First one, rent replacement program. So this could be, you're a business owner, you're currently renting your space, you're tired of renting and you think you can never buy. Rent replacement program, you can. So with that, you can buy a building to operate your business out of. You can even buy something that has more room. You just have to occupy 51%. You can rent out the rest. Typically, you can get, even with this type of loan, you can get some working capital. But the best part about it is it's 100% financing. 100%. Of course, your financials have to make sense. You have to be able to sustain those payments, but there's nothing else out there. 100%. That's pretty dang awesome.
If it's free money from government, grab it.
Well, it's not free. You're paying it back.
You're paying it back.
But and if it's I believe it's a 25-year term if there's real estate involved. The other program I like with SBA is buying a business. So you're buying a business, an existing business, that's only going to be 10% down. So a couple great options there. There's a Bolt loan through SBA that's really fast funding. It's not as much documentation as your normal SBA loan. Funds in about 2 weeks, up to $150,000. Just need a 680 credit score, and it looks at your gross revenue. So that's a great option. And then let's not forget the FDIC term loans and lines of credit. So these are great for clients that have good financials, don't mind providing some tax returns, P&L, balance statements. But with that, you can get higher amounts. That's the benefit of it. And these are, on a term loan, you're getting you can get up to a 10-year term. You can
up
stack
to $1 million.
You can stack, a line of credit on there as well to get the most funding. This is for that client that's looking for a long-term solution, has good financials, and isn't afraid to share them. And that type of funding, typically takes anywhere from like 3 to 4 weeks, but it has a nice low success fee. So the lender only charges, I think it's like 2%. Rates on that, no rates are super low right now. Rates on that are between about, I think it's 7 and 9% on those, but that's another great option. So that's just a brief overview of different business funding options, but really we just wanted to highlight that there's so many more options than what you think. You don't have to go to the bank. You don't necessarily have to have great financials or a great credit score to be able to get funding for your business. So
those days of going to the bank are over.
So thank you for watching. We will continue making more videos about the world of creative and alternative funding. Have a great rest of your day.